But what you're doing, in the wintertime, you're gonna spread your feet a little bit more, maybe bring it here. Your hand location is normally, like for example, knocking knuckles. That's how you should grip a bat. Because, and again, most people talk about the bat being at 45. Not everybody believes in that, but with the 45, when your knocking knuckles are together, when you go to a swing, that's like throwing a punch at the ball. If your hands are here, and you go to swing, you got to sort of roll your wrist and turn your hands. So just little things like that, putting those knocking knuckles together, that it does help. It does help as far as where your hand location, it gives you a little quicker to the ball. But all this stuff, you just work on it. And if you got somebody that you're hitting off a tee that's placing the balls, okay, check my hands. Are they where I want them at shoulder height or whatever, and is my bat at a 45? And sometimes you don't realize it, but if you're working on something where you want to put your plant foot at a certain spot, ask your partner to follow it, to watch and let you know if you're doing it, okay? And the point being is, when you're working in the gym here, it's not, you don't need to get 50 swings, you need to get 20 good ones. So when you're hitting off a tee, you set up like you would be at a bat. So if this is what you're doing, get set, then you hit the tee. How many of you get this ball? Boom, boom. That does nothing. It's all repetition. It's like muscle memory. So when you're, how can I put it? When you're doing front toss, you may do front toss or you do the four corner drill. If you're front tossing, you may make sure it's good, but when you keep your hands in, when you're going down the ball, you run down the ball, the hands come out, drive it opposite field. And you'll start to feel the ball jumping off your back. Especially when you don't go searching for the ball, you attack the ball. So that's why you're talking about being aggressive, word in your head, attack, get it, go. You know, one of the catchers on the Canadian team, she would be up at bat, and she'd go, no! In her head, she wasn't going to swing the ball, and she'd physically say no. It'd come out, and it was like it was different, but you know what I mean? But then she'd be here, and you could see an attack mode coming, and basically the good hitters, and you become a good hitter by trusting that there. And don't get so many things outside. So, for example, you go over 3. You got a line drive to center field, a line drive to left field, and a one hopper that the third baseman picked up, made a great play on. You went over 3. Is that a good day at the plate? Yeah. Yeah. Major League Baseball players hit 300. They get $20 million. What's that mean? They failed 7 times out of 10. They may, and the thing is, you could go 3 for 3, hit a blooper, and a number in front of the plate that you beat out. You're 3 for 3. Didn't have a great day, but you got on base. That's what you want. But you made contact with the ball. But you can hit the ball line drive, gets caught. You hit the ball hard. That's all you're looking to do. So basically, I'm going to show you some stuff. Some of the hitters here that played for Canada. This is going back about 10 years ago. And basically, these kids were just really classy players. So good teammates too. So when you have a teammate, you want to be picking people up. So if you go 0 for 3 or you made an error, you come into the bench and be pissy. You watch the best players. Come on, pick me up. Pick me up. You know, I made a mistake. Pick me up. You know, when you make a mistake at shortstop, boot a ball. In your mind, hit it to me. Next pitch. You basically do not be scared to fail, because when you're scared to fail, you're going to fail. But if you're out there saying, come on, it's just like bring it. Another play like that, somebody steals on you. Made a bad throw. Okay, what did I do? Let the ball go here. Didn't bring my arm through. Whatever. You analyze it. The next time, do it right. But do not be scared to fail. And you're going to make errors. You're going to make mistakes. And it's like you got to pick each other up. But if you're one of the ones that becomes very negative when things aren't going bad, that's not helping anybody. It's always about being positive. And that's not easy to do. Sometimes when you're at this level, you're sort of an elite athlete playing at this level, and you want do your best, but that's not always going to happen. And how you recover from a bad situation, you get better. The next time up, you hit a ball, you hit a bomb, you hit a line shot. So do not be scared to fail. And again, listen to your coaches. They're going to help you all winter here. And just keep trying little things that they ask you to do. And you may come up with a really good package that, hey, this feels good. How many of you have hit a ball and you knew it was out of the park? You just feel it, right? You hit it right when you need it, you feel it. What better feeling is that? Pretty good feeling, isn't it? But then you take a swing and miss it, and you go, shit, that's going to happen too. But again, that feeling is when you're going to remember. And you hit a line drive down in the gap, triple, double, whatever, knocking 2 runs. It's like in your mindset, you want to be going up, 2 out, bottom of the 7th, national championship, bases loaded. It's up to you. And you want to be in that position. So you just say, bring it on. And then you go up and trust what you've worked on. You basically have a hitting plan. You're going to have a hitting plan on what you set up. Trust it all summer. You may tweak it a little bit. You get in the games. You got parents with cell phones, don't you? Have them tape your pads and keep them. Keep them because, and basically you probably want them behind or at the side, but keep them. But after every game, watch. Because you're working on certain stuff. You might see I'm dropping my hands, or I dropped the bat, or I didn't get set soon enough. Then it got the pitcher blew it by me. But what happens is some of the best hitters on the national team, they maybe had a great summer. Come back start of the next season, they can't hit a ball. They're just struggling. So what they'll take a look at some of their bats this season and go back when they were hot. And they'll find out that maybe their knee bend was a little bit more, their hands are in a different spot, they had spread their stance a little bit more and they didn't realize it. So that helps you to go back and do that little correction on your own. And you can bring them in, have your coaches look at it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you some of these are hitters that have been around a long time, and just some of the stuff we've talked about eye on the ball and so on. Okay, the first one, okay, let me get a little history on some of these. So this is Mel Matthews. That is really known, so we'll bring it there. So this is Mel Matthews, and let me get through here. She played at Simon Fraser. She was just inducted last year into WBSC Hall of Fame, which doesn't happen. I think she's the first national team player to it. They won a couple of national championships. She's a chartered accountant now, but she was one of the calmest people you ever want to see. So I'm just going to run this through at regular speed. You look where the bat is. You look where it's 45 degree. Took a look. We'll slow this down, but watch your eyes. Falls the ball right in. Now, I'll back this up just a second. So what I want you to watch too is, you watch Mel. She had a routine. You watch her after she goes to the line. She hits her spike, then hits the dirt in front of her, and then she gets set. That was her trigger to get her head in the game. So you all do this. You all probably do it, but don't even realize you're doing it. But that's just a point. Okay, let's get ready. That's the switch to go on. Mel would have made the U.S. team. She was that good. There's another pitch that she didn't take. She didn't like. You look at Mel. She's about 60-40, 60% on the back foot. She's sort of she's open slightly. She's got her toes cocked. She does a double tap there. That's just a ball up the middle. Now we're going to slow this down. So now, look at her hands. That's at a 45. Her eyes are square. Heads up, square. Watch your eyes follow in. Well, you watch the ball, you're going to hit it. You know how you say see it and hit it? That's what it's all about. Now watch Mel. She'll tap her foot. She comes in the box. she set, look how calm she is, with her elbows. Weight, transfer, short step, again, she watched it. Everybody's got a different thing. Some may want a longer step, some just doing up and down. It's what's comfortable for you. And you just you try different things when you're doing this. Well, this is the ball she hit. Here's the trigger. Follow through. That's it. She drove that one up the middle. Now, here's Jen Yi. Jen Yi played, she's a bit of a freak as far as hitting goes, because she's like a praying mantis with the bat. But she came up with this, and nobody else does this, but this worked for her. Now, Jen went to Georgia Tech. She got in the Georgia Tech Hall of Fame in 2021, which is a big deal at a school like that. She was the finalist, one of the final three for the Player of the Year in 2010. You know what her batting average was in an NCAA Division I school in 2010? She led the nation, 568. She had 29 home runs, 88 walks, and 44 of them were intentional. How many times she struck out? 6 the whole year. And she had a really good year, but she was just she's a software engineer now, just a girl. She graduated with an engineering degree, went to UMass Lowell, and got another degree there. And she's done a lot of neat things as far as the software goes. Anyways, I'm going to run this normal speed first. That was an inside pitch that she got. Now we're going to slow this. We're going to slow this down a little bit. Now watch her. Now watch when she triggers. The bat goes back to a 45. Jen was one, had her elbow up a little higher than some, but when you swing, what happens to the elbow? So a lot of people want this, that's more baseball to me. To me, softball is more here in the feet, because here, as soon as you start swinging, it's coming here anyways. So that's a little bit of time to do that. But Jen now, she's got the bat in 45. So what we're going to do now, we're going to show you some of the bats. So this is Mel Matthews. Again, this is the number 2 Japanese pitcher. And again, that's just an outside pitch. Where to go? Who's that? Pitcher. Yes. Monica. Good. I thought you guys were too young to know that. So here's Monica Abbott throwing him to Mel. And again, she's just, hands are so soft and cool. She's not moving anything until she swings at it. And again, wasn't even looking to trigger that ball, but she just saw it and made a decision quickly. And Abbott throws hard. Got a ball over the plate, jumped on it right away. Not too many people get too many hits on it. Now, so here's Jen Yi. That was Joey Leisline in the too. So this was Jen. This was at Disneyland, the baseball park in Disneyland. This kid played on the U.S. team. This is the pride that they were playing. And again, Jen has got the bats moving all around. You just watch her, where her eyes directly on the pitcher, and she's just looking at the ball. You can just see it coming in. Her eyes get big when the ball comes in. That was an inside pitch, kept her hands in, and drove it. Now you see Jen's just, she's not come set yet, so she's not bringing her hands up. So what happens? That was a changeup. Jen hit a lot of changeups over the park. But again, on a changeup, where were her hands? She kept her hands back. You can step on a changeup. If you keep your hands back, you can hit a changeup. The tendency is you get fooled and you get out here in a changeup, right? You're sitting here, you see it coming, you just keep your hands back. You may have already stepped, but you keep your hands back. But as I say, Jen's concentration on the ball and all the good hitters, you see directly at the ball, following it right in. Again, that was a little outside. She didn't go for it. This one she hits about 250. And it just jumps off her back. And she's pretty quick to the ball. So one thing, you're coming from here to the point of contact. Some of you are different sizes, different shapes, different strengths. So some of you are going to be really quick to the ball. Some of you have a little longer swing. But the point being is you want to get as quick and hard to the ball and trust that swing. You trust. Do you think she has any qualms about she's going to hit that ball? And she took a swing at it? That's why, boom, on the button, and the ball goes up in the park. So this is against one of the Cuban pitchers. And slow it down a bit. Now watch. She has her routine. Not too many people do that, but when she brings the bat back, comes down 45 inside. Now, she got a couple of good pitches to the pitcher on. And Jen always looked for mistakes. Pitcher gets the ball over the plate. It's a strike. That's a really good pitch. That's a tough pitch to hit. Now what's what? Pitcher makes a slight mistake. That was hit a long way. This is in Caracas, Venezuela. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a couple of situations. So what I'm going to tell you about, this is there's a couple of situations. So what I want to talk to you about, this is Caitlin Lever. She played at Georgia Tech also, was in the Georgia Tech Hall of Fame also. She was a slapper dragger and could hit the ball over the park too. But this is the quarterfinal game in the 2010 World Championships. Canada's down 2-1. Runners on first and second. Mel Matthews had just hit a line shot off the pitcher's shin. They kept her in. This kid throws about 66, 67. And it's the bottom of the seventh, you lose your gun. So this is what happens. She had a line shot over the left fielder's head, and it ends up. This is the winning run coming. Mel Matthews is the winning run coming in, and that was the end of the game. That put him into the bronze medal game. But she didn't do anything different than she did if she was doing batting practice. And that's what you got. You got to be able to turn that switch on and make it the same every time you go in. Chris Rafter. And this is okay. Now this year is Sheena Lorick. She's about 5'3", played first base. Played first base her whole career. She was in the 2008 Beijing Olympics, played 4 years at Nebraska for Lori Sipple. And you couldn't throw a ball by her. She was everything was just a line shot this way, hit the ball out of the park, but was a really good first baseman too. You had to keep the ball down a bit, but she was honestly 5'3". So shape sizes doesn't matter. Now watch what happens here. This kid here is the top Chinese pitcher and a really good thrower. And again, so it's 0-0, bottom of 7. This is the bronze medal game. Runner on second base with 2 out. And again, outside pitch, kept her hands in, just missed it. The Chinese catchers do that all the time. I wouldn't suggest we do that, so jumping around. Just missed it again. They've been pounding her outside, and they just keep pounding her outside, then this is what happens. And again, she's got a nice swing, hand is nice and calm, set, line shot right past the third baseman. Here comes a winning run. And in this play here, that's the winning run. The third baseman cut the throw off and threw it to second baseman. With the winning run coming in, so that was just not thinking. So, this is a couple, so you guys, any questions? Because I think you gotta see, everybody's got a little bit of movement in their hands, and that's just a calming point to get themselves to the start of the trigger point. So, he's a little different, but you look at Matthews and you look at Lorick and Lieber, they're sort of just nice, calm, and then they get set, the bat's set, and then they drive. They drive themselves. And again, everybody's base is different. As I say, you could be open, you could be here, you could be slightly, some maybe a little wider, normally shorter width. But again, when you stride, so how many do not stride? How many just do an up and down? Most of you have a stride, a slight stride when you step. Okay, so what you're going to do here is you start working on adjusting that, how much you do step. A little bit, 3 inches, 6 inches, and see what feels better when you hit the ball. You know, and the point being is when you're doing tee work, you're just sitting here, set, 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 wait, attack, and go at the ball. And just keep working on that, you know. Inside pitches, your hands are going to stay in, are they not? A ball down the middle, hands are still in. Outside pitch, the hands are going to come out a little bit, but if you hit it, where do all those left-handed batters, where did the ball go when they hit the ball hard in the outside pitch? Line drive, left field. You know, and that's the point. A lot of times you end up rolling your hands over, and where's the ball do? It's a one-hopper to the second baseman or shortstop, or a little pop-up. So that's when you do tee work. You got inside, middle, outside tee work. Try to drive the ball. Try to drive the middle ball up a bit.
Glenn, I got one point for, what, is that Asia? Hi, Asia. It's okay, go on in. It's about offense. I know you're talking about hitting, but did anybody pick up in every play at home, either the on-deck batter or the lead batter, the run that just scored ahead of the run coming in was actually taking over as the coach at home plate and telling them when to slide down? All right, I know I tried drilling it into my players' heads. Sometimes they get it, but sometimes they just run to the dugout. But that's I just wanted to point that out. Every play there at home, there was a player as a coach behind that plate.
Well, you look at E here.
Yep.
He was the one behind the plate. She was signaling to go inside.
Yep.
On the slide.
Telling them where to go.
The ball looked like it was
Yep.
coming up on the other side. So I mean, little things like that can
Yep.
make a difference in a game on a run. So I think what you need to do, you sort of got to have a hitting plan going. And again, just start thinking about, okay, wait, and what's your attack work when you go after the ball? And if it's a wait, nope, it makes it so much easier, and you don't realize when you get in the game, if you can do that, you'll start saying, okay, I get it. Because I mean, I'm just an old guy talking to you guys, and sometimes, you know, people, you know, because it's different than maybe what you've done in the past. But again, you got all winter to work on this stuff, and when you get ready to go out in spring, trust what you've done. You might go, how many times do you think you're gonna? You could go 0 for 8, the first eight at bats in the spring. Don't change it because you felt good about it, and just look at. I've hit a couple of balls hard. It's not going to come easy, but it will. So it's just a matter of you guys. You just work on something, but write stuff down. Write a hitting plan down, okay? You know, and again, if you make an adjustment that seems to feel good, try it again in the next practice. Then you may make another adjustment, but by the time the winter's over, go for it, okay? But again, these hitters here, they have a plan. They use the mind game where wait, and had attack work, and they got regimented where they stayed with the stuff. And over the years, they made adjustments each year at times. When stuff wasn't, if they weren't going good, they made an adjustment. They went back in a lot of their videos. I did the video for them for about 10 years, and they went back in a lot of the videos and did that comparison sometimes. Okay, I had my hands a little low, let me try it, you know? And then they'll work on it batting practice and stuff like that. So it's not an easy game, but it's a fun game, especially if you hit the ball hard. And it's like anything else, just work hard here, have some fun doing it. All right? Any questions? Got something? Okay.
You're only got 6 strikeouts the whole season. Can you give context how many games are played in an average season?
They would probably, I should have looked at that, but they would probably play about a 50-game schedule. As I say, that she didn't strike out much at all. She was just a freak. Honestly, she played 2 years in Japan, made about $60 grand US a year playing in Japan for 2 years.
That's like
In Japan, her and Rafter are the only two Canadians that I know have gone over there. that have
Kingsmore.
played.
Yeah,
But-
Kingsmore that one year, 208 when
Well,
she
that's
had
what
the
she
year.
did.
She had 4 strikeouts total
Jeez.
in D1 ball.
Yeah.
She's one of ours.
But it's,
Yeah.
but hitting 568 in a year
Yep.
and leading the nation
Yeah.
for a Canadian kid. She played her first year at Niagara University here in
Yeah.
Niagara Falls, New York. And then she had a great year there, and then
Yeah.
she wanted to get into engineering. And they came along and grabbed her, and she played 3 years there and became a very, very, very good hitter. She played in the national team for about 10 years. So. Then she retired and didn't come back because she got into software. And I think she was making more money doing software than playing ball. So.
And we have stole some T drills off her. So some of the drills you'll be doing over the winter come from Jen Yee.
Yeah. Jen and Dave, Jen thought a lot of this stuff. So why don't you get your bats, get warmed up, and we'll throw stuff in the cages, go through
All right.
and see what you're doing, okay?